Hey guys, my name is Adam. Welcome to NutBulb, and I'm not sure if you can tell from the sound of my voice, but I have gotten the flu yet again. Uh, but that's not going to stop me from making today's video. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make this really cool wooden butterfly knife. Now before I start, I just want to thank Double X Triple BXX Theta and David Redfield for recommending this project in the previous video. And yes, I do read the comments, so if you want to be responsible for my next project idea, then do comment down below, or you can go to my Instagram page and comment on the latest post and I will read that as well. Alright, so with that, let's get started and I'll show you guys how I made this cool butterfly knife. Let's get started. First, download the PDF file in the description below and print it to 100% scale on an A4 size paper. Once printed, use the scale check to make sure that you got it to the right scale. Next, you're going to need a wooden or MDF board of about 5 to 6 mm in thickness. I used some leftover MDF from my previous fidget spinner project. Next, I went ahead and pasted A4 size paper onto the board using a very thin layer of white glue. Leave it for at least 30 minutes to allow the glue to dry completely. Now the template I'll be giving you guys is going to be a little bit different than the one you're going to see in the rest of this video. So it's going to look something like this. So when you have this template, just remember to cut off this part along the perforated line here before you paste the top part onto the board. This bottom part over here, you're going to save for a later step, which you will find out later on. Next, we can start drilling the holes. Now I'm drilling the holes before I make the cuts because some of the cuts will have to go through ready drilled holes, and it's a lot easier if you drill the holes first and then cut it later. I group the holes to be drilled into 3 main groups: points A, points B and point C, and each of these have their own specific purpose. So the holes at point A are going to act as the pivot for the butterfly knife. Before you start drilling, go ahead and find a dowel of about 5 to 7 mm in diameter and test out which drill bit size it will fit snugly into. Now a 6.5 mm drill bit seemed to fit my dowel best, so I used this for points A1, and then go one drill bit size larger for points A2, so for me that was a 7 mm drill bit. Now you should allow the board to spin freely like this. Moving on to points B, B is going to act as the stopper below the blade to keep the handles in place when it's in the open position. Now you could use the same dowel size like me, or you could use a smaller one if you wanted it to be more discreet. Again, use a snug fitting drill bit for points B1, and then go 1 to 2 mm larger for points B2. And lastly, all the points C are purely aesthetic, they do not serve any purpose, therefore you can use whatever drill bit size you want. I used the 0.7 mm drill bit for this, but you might even choose not to drill it at all if you don't want to. Next, go ahead and cut out the pieces along the following lines. Once all the pieces are cut, measure the thickness of 3 pieces stacked on top of each other and cut out 2 rods for holes A1 and 1 rod for hole B1 at that length. And these are all the pieces that you should have cut out. And ignore the 4 small rectangles you see here. I thought I was going to use it for aesthetic reasons, but then I changed my mind because it's not really necessary. Next, I put the 2 handles together. Before pasting, I gave it a quick sand. And then remove the paper from the 2 middle parts using a 600 grit sandpaper. I then glued all the parts together using white glue. and clamped it down and left it for 24 hours to dry fully. Now it's also a good idea to place a dowel through the two holes to ensure alignment while it is drying. Once it is dry, go ahead and sand it down to the shape that you want, and also sand down the notches and remove any excess paper. Then I moved on to the blade. For this, we're going to use the blade template that I asked you to cut out earlier on and paste it onto the other side of the blade. Now this is just going to act as a guide as we sand it down from both sides to make sure that it's somewhat symmetrical. And again, sand off any excess paper. Next, you can go ahead and test whether all the parts fit correctly. And if they do, you can go ahead and glue on the rod meant for hole B1. Now I did decide to shorten mine down to about 1.5 cm for aesthetic reasons. Now while that's drying, you can go ahead and take the two remaining rods, insert them into the handles and sand off any excess on either side. And once the glue is dry, you can go ahead and start painting all the parts. Now I used a bit of masking tape in order to protect the center of the two rods, and then inserted them into the blade before painting both the rods and the blade silver. And then I painted the handles just plain black. And once it was dry, I took some glow-in-the-dark yellow acrylic paint and then splattered it over with a brush onto the handles very roughly to create a very cool effect. Now this step could get a bit messy, so do make sure you have a protected surface. Now once all the parts are completely dry, take the dowels, insert them into place and apply glue if needed. And with that, you're done. Alright, so now I'll be showing you guys how to use this butterfly knife and how to do those cool tricks that you see everybody do online. Alright, so it's actually a very simple process. I'm going to summarize it in 3 steps I like to call throw, spin and catch. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, so to start, you're going to grab one of the handles in the closed position like this, and then what you're going to do is number 1, throw it forward so it opens up like that. And then what you're going to do next is spin, and when I mean spin, I mean turn the handle around. So from here, turn it and let it drop. Alright, so that's the spin. And then the third step is catch, so that means throw it back up and catch the handle. So that means from this position, throw it such that this one comes up and then catch it. So that's it. So it's throw, spin, catch. Again, throw, spin, catch. And then to close it, it's the same thing. Throw, spin, catch. And it's closed. So now of course you do it faster, it looks cooler, and you get the hang of it with practice. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys like this project. Tell me what you think about it in the comment section down below. And also don't forget to tell me what you want to see me make in my next video. I'm really looking out for that, and you can tell me that in my Instagram or on my Instagram page as well. And that's it. I hope you guys liked it. Remember to like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at NutBulb, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay awesome. Goodbye. Bye guys.